Hello and welcome to another edition of Orc Rogues, where we bring to you everything nerdy, geeky, and just plain fun. My name's Derek Trent.
And my name is Thomas Fellows. And boy, do we have a lot of stuff to talk about today. In fact, we have so much to talk about, we can't do it in one episode. So, today is going to be a very special Star Wars only episode, because as you all know, last weekend was Star Wars Celebration in Orlando, and buddy, did we get a lot from it.
It's celebration time.
Sorry.
Later
on this week, we will go ahead and do a regular episode, which we still have a lot to talk about in, but be looking out for that soon. But first, let's talk about some Star Wars. Now, we did get a really big, just massive, exciting trailer from this. And that, of course, is a trailer for Battlefront 2.
You knew that's where he was going, right?
Where else could I have gone?
Battlefront 2.
Of course. Yeah, we got a new trailer a first trailer for Battlefront 2, the game by EA, and it looks pretty.
It really does. Matter of fact, I am ashamed to say that I still don't have one of the newest gen gaming systems. So I may be picking one up for this game.
It is really pretty. Looks like we're actually going to get a storyline out of this one. The last one we didn't have much of a story. It was just multiplayer shoot 'em up, which was fun. It was awesome.
And a really clever storyline at that.
Yeah.
You know, I love the concept. It's on the other side, which is just cool, man.
Yeah. It appears...
Like, I would watch a movie. You know what I mean? Seriously, I would actually watch a movie based like that. I think it'd be great.
It looks like the story is going to follow a Imperial trooper special forces from the end of the battle on Endor to some point.
Yeah.
What happens after the Empire falls. And
now, not being incredibly familiar with Battlefront games, truthfully, it's a multiplayer game, right?
it is. It's mostly multiplayer.
Okay, so mostly multiplayer. What they might be doing is this is the trailer for that side.
It's very possible.
You know, the Imperial forces, and we might see at some point then a trailer for the Rebel forces as well.
And that is very possible.
Yeah.
I would be interested in seeing that.
I would too.
Of course, they also covered the multiplayer aspect of it, and saying that the multiplayer characters and levels are going to cover all eras, from the original trilogy to the prequel trilogy to now the sequel trilogy, which means we're going to get heroes from all eras.
It's a huge game.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be awesome. My question is, will there be space-to-ground combat?
I don't know.
That would be awesome.
And there was nothing in there showing it. Yeah.
It didn't show anything, but it was lacking from the last game, and it was one of the big things that the fans wanted out of the last Battlefront game. So, maybe.
Might be a time to add it, sure.
Be a perfect time to add it. Granted, we have a ton of other things to talk about. Like we mentioned, Celebration was this past weekend, which is where we got that trailer from. We also got a ton of other things. First thing I would like to talk about is the tons of incredibly touching tributes to Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
There was a beautiful, beautiful moment where John Williams and an entire orchestra essentially appear on stage to play this lovely medley, and that was incredibly touching.
Very well done too. I mean, I mean, it's kind of expected, but
John Williams.
Yeah, but just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful music.
All of the people who came out to pay tribute to her was just amazing and heart-touching. Touching and heartwarming. Mark Hamill
Yeah.
did like an hour-long tribute himself.
Yep.
And it was so weird because I was watching it and it almost felt like my dad was explaining how to deal with grief at the beginning of it.
Yeah, I could see that.
And it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful. I, granted, don't know much about him as a person, but he seems like a really good person.
Yeah, he's very, very well spoken.
He is.
Yeah, I mean, he is.
And he does kind of have that dad vibe.
He does
Which
now.
is cool. Some other cool
It's
stuff.
a big stretch from Luke Skywalker, really.
But I was going to Tosche Station to pick up some power converters.
Yeah.
I think I may have made that reference too many times on the show.
It's really hard to believe. I mean, honestly, it's hard to believe how long it's been. I mean, it really, really is. I mean, 40 years.
Yeah.
40 years.
40 years. Speaking
Came
of
out the
which,
year I was born. That's crazy.
we had a really cool panel talking about the 40th anniversary of Star Wars. Had some great guests on that. Basically everyone, including Liam Neeson and Samuel L. Jackson over video. They weren't actually there.
Yeah.
But they might have stolen the show.
They're busy guys, but yeah, they had some great comments.
Apparently, Liam Neeson is in Canada shooting a very unofficial film explaining what happened to Jar Jar Binks after the events of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And in his words, spoilers, he turns to the dark side. Which was a great nod to the fan theory that Snoke was Jar Jar Binks and that Jar Jar Binks was this incredibly powerful Sith Lord. I thought that was cool.
And I can tell you, I still think there were like tons of people out in the audience and people watching at home that were just immediately thinking like, that's a joke. I'm sure that's a joke. Please make it happen.
I would pay to see that.
As much as I dislike Jar Jar, I really do. I like Liam Neeson. So, yeah, I think if he was in something explaining that whole debacle, then I would probably pay to see it, actually.
Lucasfilm.
I think so.
Kathleen Kennedy. Listen. This would be amazing.
There are at least 2 idiots that would watch that. And I'm suspecting more.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. And then, of course, Samuel L. Jackson's comments.
Oh, gosh, man. His timing on it was beautiful, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he segued into it absolutely beautifully. Samuel L. Jackson may be coming back as Mace Windu.
Please. Actually, I'm not sure I'd want to see that.
I still don't get the years. That's my only real issue with it. And if they can explain that away effectively, then I would be okay with it.
I feel like that one would be a stretch.
Yep.
That would be purely fan service. Jar Jar Binks might as well be canon.
Yep.
But yeah, Samuel L. Jackson. Jedis can fall from incredible heights and take no damage. He wants to be back.
He really does. You know what? You know what I would be okay with?
What?
A flashback.
Yeah.
I would be okay with a flashback just showing him get up, and maybe kill another couple things and then go on or something like that. I would be perfectly okay with that.
Or a one-off type movie. Like Rogue One.
Actually, that would be amazing.
Lucasfilm.
That's a
Kathleen Kennedy. That would be awesome. That would be the way to bring Samuel L. Jackson back as Mace Windu.
And that one, I can guarantee there would be a ton of people interested in.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
because let's face
essentially
it,
a Mace Windu film.
He was the best character from the prequels, or one of them.
Arguably.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably, yeah. So, yes, make that happen. There's
We just found a way for you to make more money on this cash cow.
And there is literally
You're welcome.
No way to fail from that. It's Samuel L. Jackson as a Jedi featured.
Yeah. Done. In fact, if you can find a way to throw Boba Fett into it,
absolutely.
That
movie.
would,
Done movie. Done movie. Lots of viewers. Lots
millions,
of money.
Billions.
Yeah.
Trillions
You
of dollars.
you make a ton of money. Yeah, you think they're listening?
If they're not, they really
Please.
should be.
Please. And you know what? If you don't even share the whole video, time tag it to this little spot, send it to Disney, because that's freaking brilliant.
We're awesome.
We are. Hire us.
There you go. We can write.
Yeah.
I'm writing a campaign right now. I'm writing my own role-playing game.
In which Mace Windu may or may not show up. Well, not on the one we, try to market and stuff, or...
No. We just have to give him a different name. It'll be the same character. He'll have a mysterious energy blade and be able to control things with his mind. Yeah, we can do that.
Fair enough. His name would be Club Breezy.
Wow, you went there.
I tried.
Club Breezy as Mace Windu. Anyways, but of course, the biggest thing that we got out of... Well, there was also the new trailer for the fourth and apparently last season of Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, yeah.
Which looked pretty cool. Now, unfortunately, I'm a little behind on that series.
I am very behind on that series.
Now, I'll tell you, what I've seen of it, it is amazing. And we need to watch it. But yeah, that's
I've been
happening.
told it, and I have seen precisely none of it.
There is going to be an Obi-Wan Kenobi standalone film.
I would be okay with that.
Because we already have the Han Solo one coming out next year, I believe. And now apparently they're planning Obi-Wan Kenobi after Episode 9.
Would they just pick...
Ewan McGregor?
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great idea.
I mean, you might as well.
Yeah.
Say it's still around. Excellent actor.
Yeah. Anyways, but like I was saying earlier, the biggest thing we got out of this is we finally have the Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi teaser trailer. Very long teaser
I was going to
trailer.
say, it's a little more than a teaser trailer, honestly.
Most people are considering this to be a teaser than a trailer.
Oh, no, it's... content-wise, it's technically a teaser, but it's long for a teaser trailer.
And I loved it. We finally get to hear Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker speak.
Yep.
For the first time in 36 years? 38 years? No, not 38. 32 years? 34 years?
A long time.
Right. Which is awesome, and he was a little terrifying.
Yeah, he was. It sounded kind of on... It sounded kind of on the dark side, didn't it?
It did.
I was not trying.
Because we get this great little clip of what I'm certain is Rey training on Luke's little paradise island with him.
Yeah, most of that is hard to see, too. It's like from a distance.
But you know what I noticed? A lot of people have been saying, because the very beginning of it is Rey catching her breath.
Right.
But the sound of it is not like a, oh my gosh, I just ran so far, I need to catch my breath. It is a, oh my gosh, I have not been able to breathe. I have to get my breath back to survive.
Yeah, it was a major gasp. Yeah, that's true.
Which makes me wonder, what is Luke doing? How is he training her?
Chokehold? Possibly?
And of course, then we have Luke asking Rey what she sees, and she says the light side with this beautiful shot of the back of Carrie Fisher as Leia, and then the dark, and you see a smashed mask that looks to be Kylo Ren's mask. And then she says the balance, and I'm not sure what to make of that.
I don't know, but he also was in the trailer. Yeah, mentions Jedi, going away.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. And the very end of it, Luke says, the Jedi must end. Which is why I'm wondering if the ideals of the Jedi
Yeah.
are over.
I don't know,
because
it's really kind of cryptic. I mean, like it's
is.
very, very cryptic.
which of course is on purpose.
I mean, we know we know the title, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that much of a shock, but it for me anyway, it was a shock to hear it from Luke. I don't know. I expected that to be Jedis are kind of getting wiped out. I didn't expect to hear it from Luke.
I'm not surprised by it.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting the whole gray Jedi coming forth thing with Luke, him embracing both light and dark sides of the Force, and actually bringing balance to it. Because if you remember from the prequels, they do have some merit. If you remember from the prequels, the prophecy was that Anakin Skywalker would bring balance to the Force.
Right.
Not eradicate the dark side.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And sure, Anakin wasn't able to do it, but he was able to bring Luke into the world.
Right.
And Luke was able to do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think this would be a very interesting turn. Yes, the Jedi must end, but this much greater power is going to rise from its ashes. Like the Phoenix, which is the symbol for the rebel, the resistance.
Yes, it is.
And I have brought this full circle. You're welcome, Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm. I really should be writing for them.
We expect a check. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we see that stuff in it, we expect a check. The interesting thing though to see would be to see where it goes from there. Because it sounds like you're kind of, not you, but if that's the direction they're going, it sounds like they're kind of wrapping up the universe, which is clearly not needed. I know there are directions to go, but this is one of those things where like kind of all the directions are going that place. So where do you go from there once they reach that place?
Well, I don't think that it's going to wrap up the universe.
Yeah.
I believe that once we get to the end of episode 9, we might have the Skywalker saga wrapped up.
Right.
Which would be beautiful. Have the trilogy of trilogies end, and that's it for that.
I would definitely be okay with that.
That's exactly what Star Wars has been. It's been the story about the Skywalkers.
Right.
Now, having the universe continue can absolutely be done with the rise of this essentially gray Jedi Order.
Right.
And because there will still always be people who give in to the power and persuasion of the dark side. And there will always be the religious zealots like the Jedi.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is the factions would still exist. You just have a gray faction in the middle. Okay. Yeah, I think that could. I could get behind that. Yeah, that sounds good.
So, Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm, you're welcome. Anyways, but no, we also got a lot of fight scenes with the fighters, the TIE fighters. They were there.
TIE fighters were there. X-Wings were as well. Yep.
Some mysterious craft scooping up the surface of the planet and spraying red dust behind it. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool, actually.
And actually, there was an interview with Rian Johnson where the director of The Last Jedi, where he explained that the white surface of the planet is like a salt crust.
Okay.
And underneath that is a very mineral-rich red earth.
Okay.
And that's what was actually happening there, which would be cool. We also got to see...
just real quick, because I missed it, but like when I watched the trailers, there was something in the trailers that I totally missed that you brought to my attention a moment ago. I'm going to have to rewatch it and see them. But if you don't listen really, really carefully, you miss part of the trailer.
It's true. If you listen really... And people are still not completely sure about what they heard.
Okay.
I went back, listened very carefully, and I will tell you what I think I heard. During Rey's, I believe, vision, where she's talking about the light side and the dark and the balance, which goes back to the Grey Jedi, if you listen very closely, there are voices deep in the background, almost can't be heard.
What do you see? Light. Darkness. A balance.
The first one is when they're showing Leia from behind, and I believe it is her from Episode 4, New Hope, saying part of her "Help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope" speech. You're our only hope. The second one is when she's talking about the dark side with Kylo Ren's smashed mask, and you can hear what I believe to be Palpatine saying something about the dark side, as he does. And then the last bit is Yoda saying something, and that I was not able to make out. If you have any ideas of what that might have been, or different ideas on what, if you heard something completely different, be sure to leave it in the comments and we can have a little discussion about it.
Yeah,
see what's going on.
We'd like to hear what you think it is, absolutely. And if any of you happen to be able to decipher the Yoda comments, kindly do, because they're clearly the hardest ones to understand.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, we got some beautiful fighting scenes, dogfights. I think this movie's going to be amazing. We didn't get hardly any Finn, though, in the trailer.
No.
There was the brief clip of him in the chamber regenerating or healing or whatever. Because, of course, as he was left after Force Awakens, he was in rough shape.
Yeah, I find it kind of odd, actually, that I mean, because he had a substantial role. That what we see in him for this one is very brief. So I'm kind of, I'm hoping they're just keeping that under wraps. I like the character.
Me too.
And I would, I'm hoping he's not like a secondary now or something.
Well, during the celebration, he did say that Finn is coming back and he's not playing around anymore. So we can see where that goes. I think he's going to be a crucial role in the film. I don't think he's going to become a secondary character or anything. I still want to see what they do with Poe, because he was briefly covered in Force Awakens.
Right.
Enough to be set up as a main character, but not really talked about. So I'd like to see more of him.
During The Force Awakens, it was kind of funny because with Poe, I kept expecting him to be a main character. Like just the way they introduced him, the way they
exactly. It was
like
kind of
he felt like he was supposed to be a main character, and then just never quite made it into main character status. By the time of the film was over, I was like, well, what happened to why? I don't. But
who knows?
So yeah, I'd love to see some more Poe. I think that'd be great.
But anyways, so yeah, the trailer looks awesome. Especially after watching it a few times and looking at it, trying to figure out what was going on. It looks like it's going to be really, really good.
Study the trailer.
Usually trailers don't have to be
watches.
studied,
Yeah,
but
give it a couple watches.
This one was deep.
Yeah,
it had its moments, and especially for being a teaser, it was surprisingly deep.
It
I
did
don't
its
know
job
what we're going to see.
incredibly well.
It did.
It did.
I love watching trailers and trying to figure out what story we're going to get. I have no clue.
Which is surprising because they gave a fair amount.
They did.
It's in some trailers they're really brief and you have absolutely no idea what's going on. Sometimes they grab you anyway. Those are amazing. This one somehow managed to do both. Like they gave you quite a bit of information and you still have no idea what's going on.
Impressive.
Yeah, quite. So props to whoever, puts those things together.
I feel like we're saying that a lot recently. Whoever is writing trailers now is amazing.
Really good, yeah. There are some awfully talented trailer people.
But that's about all we have time for this episode. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, please stay tuned over the next couple of days for our other episode where we cover everything not Star Wars that happened this past week. And we will see you then. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button. And as always, leave a comment as far as what you think we should be doing with our lives. Because, you know, we need that advice. And what you think Yoda might have been saying in that clip.
Because that's important.
We really have no clue.
And it irritates us.
Anyways, like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, we are Orc Rogues.